You ever get the feeling something is about to happen before it does? You're about to text someone and they message you first. You feel like you shouldn't take a turn down a certain road and later hear about an accident there. You meet someone and within seconds, you just know they can't be trusted. No data, no facts, just something. You've been told that's instinct, that it's irrational, that it's emotional. But what if it's not? What if your intuition isn't random at all, but the most advanced intelligence system you have? Here's the part they never taught you in school. Your brain is not the only place where information is processed. We now know the heart has a neural network of its own, over 40,000 neurons. We know the gut is lined with more nerve tissue than the spinal cord. And more importantly, we know both the heart and gut send far more information to the brain than the brain sends to them. This isn't New Age spirituality. It's published in peer-reviewed neuroscience journals. But why does no one talk about it? Because it changes the story of human intelligence. It shifts us away from the mind as a cold, calculating machine and toward a more distributed sensory system, one that blurs the line between thought and feeling, one that can receive signals before logic can explain them. You've felt this system activate before, in the silence before something breaks, in the moment just before a decision, when everything else is noise and one inner voice feels strangely clear. That's intuition, and it's not magic. It's a signal. In fact, we're going to go deeper into the biology of it in just a few minutes, into real studies you've probably never heard of. But before we get there, you need to understand the first truth. Your body knows, long before your brain does. So if you've ever ignored that quiet inner knowing and regretted it, you're not crazy. You're just waking up to a part of yourself that the world has spent centuries trying to silence. And this video is about remembering how to listen to it again. The mind loves logic. It wants reasons, patterns, labels. But intuition doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in resonance. And here's what they don't teach in school. Your body is an antenna. The skin has over 33 billion sensory receptors. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field detectable up to several feet outside your body. And your gut, often dismissed as just digestion, is constantly reading data from the world around you. What's that data? Subtle shifts in posture, micro-expressions on a stranger's face, the tension in a room before anyone speaks, or even fluctuations in the electromagnetic field that precede physical events. The conscious brain misses most of this. It's too slow. It processes about 40 bits of information per second. But your subconscious, it takes in 11 million bits per second, silently, invisibly. And from that storm of information, it filters one small signal, a whisper, a feeling, a knowing. That's intuition. It's your system saying, I don't have time to explain why, but something is off. Or, this path is right. I don't know why, but it is. And still, most people ignore it, because they were taught that real intelligence must be proven, measured, justified. But the truth is, your intuition is often right long before the evidence arrives. We'll explore the science behind this later, real research on preconscious sensing, gut-brain communication, and coherence in the heart field. But first, a question. How many times in your life did you feel it, clearly, and ignore it anyway? How many regrets started with, I knew I shouldn't have. I felt it in my gut. I just had a bad feeling. If that's ever been you, you're not alone. And you're not broken. You're just remembering. If this resonates, pause for a moment. Like this video so the algorithm doesn't bury it. Comment below, when was the last time your intuition warned you and you didn't listen? Your story might unlock someone else's memory. And when you're ready, we'll keep going. Because what comes next is the science that proves exactly how you knew, before you knew. For centuries, science dismissed intuition as soft data, subjective, emotional, unreliable. But in recent decades, something changed. In 1991, a neurocardiologist named Dr. J. Andrew Armour discovered that the heart has its own intrinsic nervous system, over 40,000 neurons, capable of sensing, feeling, remembering, and even making decisions independently of the brain. This discovery led to the emergence of neurocardiology, a field that confirms what ancient traditions knew long ago. The heart is not just a pump, it's a sensory organ, and it's connected to your brain in both directions. Signals from the heart influence emotional processing, decision-making, and perception. More importantly, when the heart and brain are in sync, you experience a state known as coherence. And coherence is the biological foundation of intuition. In this state, your breathing slows, your emotional energy stabilizes, your body and mind shift into alignment. You become more receptive, more open to subtle signals. It's not a mystical trance, it's measurable. The HeartMath Institute has documented that people in coherence can predict random events slightly before they happen, suggesting that the heart is accessing non-local information. That's right. Real-time data from controlled studies shows a measurable anticipatory signal coming from the heart before the body sees a stimulus. Your system knows. And it's not just the heart. The gut, with its 100 million neurons, operates independently of the central nervous system and sends far more messages to the brain than it receives. It processes safety, it triggers warnings, and it delivers that knowledge as a feeling. This isn't magic, this is biology. Your body is a sensory instrument for the invisible. It's not irrational, it's pre-rational. It knows before the reasons arrive. And once you learn to trust that, life stops being a puzzle. It starts becoming a rhythm. You've probably been taught to prioritize logic, to reason, to analyze, to make decisions based on facts. But what no one told you is this: your logic is only as good as the data it's fed, and that data is always delayed. By the time your conscious mind has processed an event, your subconscious has already reacted. Your nervous system has already signaled a threat or an opportunity. Your gut has already churned. Your heart has already shifted its rhythm. And yet, we're taught to wait, to suppress that immediate knowing, to explain it away. But intuition doesn't wait. It arrives before certainty, before clarity, sometimes even before time is caught up. It speaks not in language, but in shifts. Temperature changes, tightness in your chest, a sudden calm, an unshakable push toward or away from something. You felt it, that strange sense that something is just off, even when everything looks fine on paper. That moment when you can't justify your reaction, but you can't shake it either. And here's the irony: many of your worst decisions were logical, reasonable, defensible, but they ignored your inner signal. They dismissed your body's quiet resistance, and you paid the price. That's not your fault. You were taught to trust only what you could measure, and intuition, you can't measure it in the moment, but you can feel its accuracy. In hindsight, you look back and realize it was always there, you just overrode it. The real work is learning to stop doing that, to pause, to breathe, to listen, because intuition doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you're too busy proving everything to everyone, you'll miss the signal that was always meant for you. Your logic analyzes, but your body already knows. And what if science could prove it? In the next part, coming tomorrow, we'll go deeper into the real studies that confirm what you've always felt. Make sure you're there. Your signal is getting clearer.